Haley drew me as a rooster, I think, on the T-shirt, and I actually was like, "Oh, okay, I could be a rooster."
Hi, I'm Jamie Hernandez, and this is The Ins and Outs with Mackie, a show about awesome gear and awesome people. We'll be bringing you musicians, engineers, podcasters, streamers, and sometimes the occasional Mackoid. If you're new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform to get all the latest Mackie updates as soon as they're out. So our guests today first gained notoriety for their phenomenal ability to take the latest pop tune and turn it into an impassioned folk/Americana tune filled with grit. They currently have over 85 million YouTube views, did a semi-finalist run on America's Got Talent, and even played a pivotal role in season 6 of Glee. But even through all that, they've really shown that their true talent lies within their original work. We're going to talk all about that today, so I'm very honored to welcome to the show Noah Guthrie. Hi, Noah.
Hi.
Welcome to the Ins and Outs. How you doing, man? You're up in...
I'm good.
Where are you up in?
South Carolina. Yeah, I'm in upstate South Carolina in a town called Greer. Born and raised. I still live here, and I'm happy to be here. Thanks.
Nice to hear that you're still in your hometown. That's cool.
Yeah, it's been nice to me for my whole life. So I figured I'll give it a chance and stick around for a while.
Well, let's talk about why it's been nice for you, for your whole life, starting with the beginning, right? You got started, you got your start creating YouTube videos of covers where you sparked the attention of a lot of people and even had some viral videos. Can you talk about how that got started, your beginning, what led to that?
Yeah, sure. So I have kind of always been around music throughout my life. My dad and my stepmom are both singers and have always been like studio singers for a long time. And and then my mom and my stepdad always just kind of put me around really great music. I just had good taste in music, mostly classic rock and stuff like that. But I picked up an acoustic guitar for the first time when I was about 14 and went on YouTube and started teaching myself, how to play some chords and stuff. And then started kind of doing my own thing with these cover songs, really not for any reason, just really just to learn. And basically, I did that with a cover of "Where the Streets Have No Name" by U2, and I took that, and my dad saw it and decided to post it on YouTube just to share with our family.
Oh, Dad.
We got some just really unexpected attention out of it. It just kind of gained some traction on there. Somebody from like a researcher from like the Ellen DeGeneres show saw it. They put it in some contest on their website, and so it just got a lot more views than I ever expected. And we kind of decided that this could maybe be a thing to do. Decided to start doing those covers on a more regular basis. All the while, I was writing my own stuff and kind of figuring out songwriting, and knew that was really where my passion was and where my heart was. But the covers turned into a really great way to get the name out there, and I had a couple of viral videos. I had one called "Sexy I Know It." That's the
best one.
Well, that one really kind of changed everything, and I posted that one day on a whim. It went viral and really did change my life in a lot of ways, and kind of got my name out there to a degree that I never would have expected that it would. And off the heels of that, I released my first record called "Among the Wildest Things," I think in 2013, I guess. And just from then on, I decided that music was my thing, and music has always been my thing from then on. Yeah.
What would you say was the defining moment where you realized this is something really special? People are really, really listening now.
I think when you're living it, it's not always easy to remember what is like the moment. And I think I have always struggled with like my self-confidence and stuff in music for a long time. And I think really it wasn't one instance, like even the "Sexy I Know It" thing, when that blew up, I wasn't thinking like, well, now I've made it, or like now this is it. That's not what I was thinking. I was actually probably having an anxiety attack, but it was just a lot all at once. And I think the main thing that kind of got me to a place where I knew that I could do this for a living and as an actual career choice was probably when during that time of the Sexy I Know It thing, I also started touring quite a bit. I got on a college circuit through an organization called NACA.
Okay.
And basically, you go and you showcase, a couple songs for hundreds of colleges all over the country, and they book you and stuff. And I went and did that, thinking, if I get 15, maybe 10 shows out of this, I'll be so happy about that. And I went and I played a 15-minute showcase, and I got like 90 something bookings out of these colleges. So like for the next year and a half, me and my dad were in a rental car driving all over the country, trying to get to these shows. And I think once I got in the rhythm of that, the rhythm of playing shows, the rhythm of figuring out how to perform for audiences and connect with audiences, once I saw that I could withstand that, I think I kind of realized, well, okay, well, this is what I do. This is my thing. This is how I can connect with people.
So you were pretty busy on the road with your dad while you were building this audience on YouTube. I mean, was it important to keep a predictable schedule for those people that were waiting for the next best cover, or how did you manage that balance?
I don't know if this is surprising for some people when they hear it, but like for me, I've never considered myself a YouTuber in that way. I've always kind of considered myself someone that turned on a camera and like played these songs and just happened to post them to YouTube. But obviously, like of course, when I got, when I decided to start doing these things and start doing these videos, yeah, I mean, you had to have some kind of posting schedule. So mine was really just kind of once a week. But that after a while of doing that, it started to wane for me a little bit. I don't know. I guess I really kind of decided that, like, when I could go out there and tour my own music and stuff, that was my main priority. So that's what I wanted to transition into. So I took a break from YouTube for a while. And honestly, the shows we were doing, especially these college shows, there's so many in such a small amount of time that I really didn't have time to make videos on the road, not as much as I wanted to. I did when I could. And I would start to feel, guilty about that a little bit. Yeah. But I really didn't have the time. It was just so much, drive, eat, play a show, sleep, drive, and like repeat, and, nowadays I don't post as much. And when I do post, it's mostly like vlog stuff or behind the scenes stuff, which I've actually really enjoyed doing. But it's still just all about the music for me. So if I get too far away from that good feeling I get when I write a song, then I don't feel like I'm in my natural habitat, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm kind of, I don't know, taking away from something.
Your blogs are so good.
Thanks.
So anyone who's listening, go check out his blogs.
That's awesome. Actually, I want to give a little credit to my buddy Rhett Scholl has a great YouTube channel, and he started when I kind of fell out of YouTube. I really decided to take a break from it, and he started doing these other videos that were kind of like that, and he started doing some more like behind the scenes stuff, and I was like, people like looking at that now? Like, that's cool. So he encouraged me to start doing that, and I've really loved it. It's just a different way to share what I do with people. So I've enjoyed it.
Was it difficult, merging more towards the originals at that point then, and kind of staying quiet in the cover zone there?
Yeah, thankfully. A lot of the fans that know me from my YouTube channel and have stuck with me through the years, through all these covers, have really transitioned to the original music well, and they end up coming out to shows. They see what I do live, and in a live setting, I'm not playing, a whole set of covers, and I think for people that don't realize that I do original music, they come and they're taken aback by that for a second, and then they're like, oh, well, I like this music that he's playing. And I'm like, well, great, you're staying. I love that.
Now learn these lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to learn these lyrics. But no, I've been lucky so far. It's just kind of it's just a little bit of an uphill battle for some reason, and I think there's a lot of other people out there that are kind of going through the same thing because doing the cover circuit on YouTube was such a staple, and still is to some degree for a lot of musicians that are just starting out. The advice they get is to go on YouTube and start covering songs, and it's not necessarily bad advice. It's just that's what people do, and when you get locked into that, though, it's hard to get your foot out the door into the world that you want to be in.
Yeah, definitely can understand that. So Noah, you've prepared a performance of a few songs for us. Do you want to go ahead and talk about what songs you're going to be playing?
Yeah, so I'm going to be playing my new single, That's All. I'll also be playing my upcoming single, High Enough, and another song that I wrote actually during quarantine called Ain't a Bad Thing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And now a live performance by Noah Guthrie.
I missed your birthday. Wasn't it last Thursday? What you do? Yeah, they just keep coming, don't they? Yeah, still in Carolina. Mama's doing fine. She asked about you, and she still thinks I'm right for you. Yeah, I think that's funny too. 'Cause we had other plans, did what we had to do. Oh, but sometimes I wish that they had fallen through. Some nights I stop my fingers, some nights they just call to see how you are. And what you found here, your voice missed the sound. That's all. Well, I know it's been too long, and I don't want to keep you too long. Yes, I do, 'cause I could talk all night with you. That's the sound of the wipers. I'm driving and it's coming down real good, and I just passed that neighborhood. We had other plans, did what we had to do. Oh, but sometimes I wish that they had fallen through. Some nights I stop my fingers, some nights they just call to see how you are. And what you found here, your voice missed the sound. That's all. Sometimes think about a pain, sometimes think about how you might have the wrong last name sometimes. But we had other plans, did what we had to do. Oh, but sometimes I wish that they had fallen through. Whoa, Some nights I stop my fingers, some nights they just call to see how you are. And what you found here, your voice miss the sound. That's all. That's all.
So, your original music is definitely described as being honest and representative of real life experiences. Do you think that's helped you realize your own identity as a songwriter for fans to attach to?
Yeah, I think so. It's always funny, and I know every songwriter gets this question: is like, is that song about you, or is like, is
Every
this song?
song's about you. It's really hard to know a singer because they're all often looking through your lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. So I get that question, and I think probably is the answer. I mean, I every time I write a song, I don't sit down and self-analyze myself all the time, which is good. I would go nuts. But, I think whatever I'm connecting with in that moment is probably getting transferred into that song. My main thing with music, when I am writing a song, when I'm performing a song, the main thing I'm trying to do is to make someone feel that whatever that basic emotion was that when I wrote the song, I'm trying to get them there. I'm trying to take them there with me. So if they're connecting with it and they're feeling that, then I'm in my opinion doing my job. But I can definitely say I end up writing songs, releasing songs, and then realizing, yeah, no, that was about me for sure. Or that was about a loved one, or that was about this time in my life, and it's weird. I think how the brain works, how it kind of sneaks in little things about yourself into the songs.
Oh, definitely, and about other people, and it's kind of fun to have those hidden messages too, right?
Or it's like, why do I know this feeling so well? Like, why am I able to really do this well? Oh, it's because I'm a jerk, so.
That's awesome. So you talked about one of your teachers in one of your interviews that I watched, and it really resonated with me. And what you said was that you had a teacher who told you it was okay to want to do this for the rest of your life, which seemed to really have ignited your flame at that point. And of course you had your family members helping you out there too, but teachers are really down these days, especially with the current situation, right? But what motivation can you offer teachers and other influencers who may not realize the impact that they're making?
It's something. When I went to a high school around here, and then I went 1 year at a like an arts high school, and what I did was basically I would split my day between my normal public school and this art school, and at the Fine Arts Center, they did this orientation, and at the time, there was a man named Dr. Floor, who was the principal of that school, and he had this kind of swagger about him anyway, and everybody loved him. He was like, pick your favorite, movie professor, and this was him. And but so he was really cool, and he could captivate you, but. I remember sitting in the orientation and him just, looking around we were in a black box theater, and he was right in the middle and looking at all of us. And just him saying to all of us that, you're here because you have a passion for this. You're not here because, you basically you're not here because you want it to make it a hobby. You're here because this is what you eat, sleep, and breathe. And he said that is okay for you to feel that way, and you can absolutely do this. If you work hard enough, you can do this as a living. And that's just a huge deal to any kid, I think. And it really, it really did rub off on me. And then I had several other teachers that did the same thing for me. And, I'm forever grateful to those people, because it really, when you grow up in a small town, there's already enough challenges facing you.
Yeah.
And especially when you want to do something in the arts or in music or anything like that, you just have to work harder to find your people, and you have to work harder to find where you fit in and how you can be unique. So I really appreciate the help that those people gave me.
It's a great story. Thank you for sharing that with us. So
Yeah, for sure.
since then, you went viral on YouTube, made our mouths drop on Glee, gained the hearts
Right.
of the star-studded cast on America's Got Talent, and you toured the world. Honestly, the list goes on and on, Noah. What are a few lessons that you've learned that you still carry with you today?
Probably the biggest thing I've learned through everything, and I've been very lucky that I've gotten to do all those wonderful things you just listed, but I also have so much learning to do and so much more to do. I'm really, in my opinion, just kind of starting to bud my career a little more. And but I think the biggest thing I've learned, and really I think I can speak for my dad and my brother and the guys that travel with me, most of all, is just that if you approach this business with kindness and you approach it with vulnerability and humility towards people, that's when you get to the venue, that's who you're talking to first when you first meet them. Like, just try to put whatever was in the van or whatever was in your head or whatever's making you really mad at the time behind you, and just approach these people with civility and kindness, and tell them that you are appreciative of them. And that's a huge deal to people, and that translates to everything. So, when I have a meeting in Nashville or something, then just be yourself, but be the kindest version of yourself that you can be. And that stuff really, that comes back to you. And I know that sounds very like after school special kind of thing, but it really is true. A lot of the stuff that has happened to me in my life has been the result of just trying to be a decent person, and having people want to do that back to you. Like that's just kind of how it works, in my opinion.
I love that. I always love, I don't know if you've heard this saying, but it's a music saying, but it's always perform to one person like you would perform to an entire crowd.
Yeah, so the way Glee came about for me was I played a house show in San Francisco one year, to maybe 13 people, 14 people. It was a tiny apartment, and one of the people that was there, I didn't know this at the time, but he happened to, he was going to be a judge on some other like a talent show that later that week. And, I remember talking to him and just kind of having a good time with him. And I got a call a couple weeks after that house show, and it was from this guy, and he said, "Hey, I was just at a, I know this is weird, but like I was just at a talent show thing. I was judging this talent show, and one of the other judges was a casting agent for Glee, and she was telling me that we really are trying to find this one person for this one role that we need for the new season, and we can't find him." And she said that they needed a shy, chubby kid
God.
who could like sing like Otis Redding or something like that. And this guy just looked at him and was like, I saw that guy last week. He was like, I know exactly where he is. I know his name. So, he passed on my info to her, and then one thing led to another, and I was on Glee, and that's how that kind of thing happens. You connect with people, and just be vulnerable with people and make those connections.
That could have been that door guy, so.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's your advice to creatives who want to get started in today's world where phones and the internet are just part of everyday life?
Well, I would say if you are a musician or a songwriter or anything in the arts, I would say all that stuff is very important. But I would definitely stress that you and your instrument or you and your craft are much more important to making the art you want to make. Find that thing that can that sets you apart. Like, I'm a good singer, but the thing about my singing is kind of just the way my voice sounds and like the way I'm good at bringing a lot of emotion into my voice when I sing. So like that's part of my unique thing. So like everyone has their own unique thing, and I think it's a really big deal when you can find that and kind of hone that a little bit, and figure out how to use it. Because at the same time, my other thing I hope is songwriting, and I'm not the most skilled guitar player. I'm not, the most skilled singer even. I just kind of do what feels right, and kind of sing from my gut. But, it hasn't led me astray so far. So I guess really my advice would be yourself. Learn your craft before you start branching out to like social media and all that stuff. Like, absolutely learn that, because that's a huge deal nowadays. But it's not just about having the schedule down and having as many eyes on you as possible. It's like they're only going to watch it if what you're doing you're proud of. They will see that and they will watch it, and they'll enjoy it.
And you prove to everybody that, even though you started with covers, people still follow you. You say your fans, stick by your side, and they support that. Just our last guest said, he says it often, make the music you love, and I really love that.
That's perfect. Like, you need to focus on making what you love, because that's the only way, one, that you're ever going to be truly happy. And two, like, that's what people like to see. They don't want to see, you singing the next pop song that sounds the same. They don't want to see you sing the next Americana country song that sounds the same. They want to see you being you, enjoying what you're doing, and
Amen.
really enjoying it. And that's, it's like people want to see that kind of like private peek into your personal thing, your personal connection with whatever song you're singing. So yeah, I totally identify with that. Make the music that you love, for sure. And now I'm actually going to play you my next single. This is actually getting ready to release on September 4th. It's a little bit more. It's a little more bluesy. It's kind of what I'm releasing is actually a full band, pretty rock and roll, pretty bluesy version. But the song started on acoustic guitar, so figure I'll give it a shot today. It's a song called High Enough.
It was a Tuesday, I packed my things, black bags with yellow string, left a letter on the kitchen floor, hugged the dog, slammed the door. You called me and I felt bad. I love you, baby, but what we had turns me into a crazy man, too heavy for you to understand. For my dark side, there ain't nothing you can do. Carry paradise over mountains for you. Oh, your love don't living separate lives for a long time. And you've been stuck inside your head, all the things I could have said, playing in my mind. Oh, from my dark side, there ain't nothing you can do. Carry burdens over mountains for you. Oh, oh, your love don't reach high enough. 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 Not high enough. Yeah. Oh, your love don't reach high enough. No, don't reach high enough. Ooh. Oh, your love don't reach high enough.
It's obvious that you remain humble and very modest, and that's really refreshing to realize about you. You know, talking to you now, how do you keep yourself focused and motivated?
I have a dad and I have an older brother. Yeah, for sure. I always have to remind myself, that music is not a competition. Every artist has their own timeline for when things happen for them. I can get caught up in that and kind of feel like, well, why can't, he's doing that. Why can't I do that?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I could do that, but like that isn't what music is. Music is about, connecting to yourself and figuring out what you're trying to say in that song and trying to get someone else to connect with you on that song and kind of go there with you. And that's what it's about. And, I think it's kind of hard sometimes to figure that out. But honestly, again, I I have a brother. He's 5 years older than me. He's also like my best friend. So it's not hard to find someone that can tell me no, or tell me you're being an idiot, or tell me, your head's way too big right now. Calm down. Let your ego go. So I'm lucky. I have a good family. I've got, good friends. So I'm just lucky.
Congratulations on all of that. That's so awesome.
Oh, thanks.
So you have 2 albums out, The Valley and Among the Wildest Things. Do you want to talk about some stuff you have available online for our listeners?
Sure. So I'm actually, so those 2 albums are out. You can find them, on Spotify and everywhere that you stream your music and download music. But I also actually just released a new single called That's All. You can find that in the same places. And I'm really happy with it. It's a song that my band and I have been playing live for quite a while and have been really connecting with people live with it, and very happy that that's finally out. And now I actually do have another single coming up probably at the end of the month, and that's called High Enough. So you guys can be on the lookout for that. I'm getting pretty excited about that. And really, I have a whole album of new music ready to go, and the pandemic started, and it was just kind of one of those things like, okay, we're gonna start getting everything ready, and then the pandemic happened, and it was like, okay, well, maybe like a couple weeks from now we can start getting everything ready, and then a couple weeks would go by, and we're like, okay, well, now like a couple more weeks, we'll get everything ready, we'll go. And it's just, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out how to release music in this weird COVID time that we're in. But otherwise, I do have new stuff. And honestly, it's the music on this new record is the music I'm proudest of for sure. I really, really love it. I think it is, and I end up saying this, I think, about any new music I release, but it really does feel more like me than anything else. And I'm very excited for people to hear it and hopefully get on board with it.
So you also refer to yourselves as the Bird Band on your newest shirts. That's right. I looked it up. Can you talk a little bit about that? How that came to be? I know you have a.
So, when I tour live, I have a band that I call Good Trouble. So it's Noah Guthrie and Good Trouble, and I've been with the same guys for I guess about 7 or 8 years now, and yeah, they're fantastic, and they're such good players and such good dudes. But I needed some new merch. I needed something fresh, and I also am very lucky to have a fiance that is a really talented artist. Her name's Haley, and I went to her one day, and I'm a bird nerd for sure, and my band has kind of made fun of me about it for a long time. And I went on my first actual bird watching trip probably 2 months ago now. God, it feels like we've been in this forever now. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm forgetting what month we're in.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But yeah, so I'm very much a bird nerd. And I went to my fiance and I was just like, can you just draw my band as birds? Is that stupid? And she's like, no. And then she drew it, and one thing led to another, and now we have bird band t-shirts.
It's awesome.
For sale.
It is such a great shirt.
She nailed it too. She did such a good job.
Like, you would buy it if you just saw it on a random site, because it's a cute shirt. It's a cool shirt.
Well, good.
So
that makes me happy. That's what we were going for. So that's
you did it.
Great.
Accomplished. So I think it's time for our one-off segment, our rapid fire of silly questions.
Ooh,
Are you ready
okay.
for that? Right. You're not supposed to be ready, so I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, Noah. We'll start easy, man. So you're really talented, obviously, but what's a random talent that you have that most people don't know about?
Ooh, oh no, that is really hard. See, I've told you I'm really bad at these. Random talent. I'm finding out that I'm like decent at building things.
Okay. Building little things, or
yeah, I can build a table or like something like that, but that's probably not like as much a talent. That's pretty much based off of YouTube too. So like, I don't know. I can snore real loud. Oh, I know what it is. Sorry, I know what it is. I do these things at shows, back when we could have live shows. Before we go on stage, I do these high kicks. I don't know why. I think it's because once, like, how jeans for this is so stupid. How jeans, like, a couple years ago, jeans started getting real stretchy for everybody.
Yeah.
So
as I wiggle in my stretchy jeans, yes.
Even the men's jeans now are stretchy.
Yeah.
So like, that was one of my favorite things in the world. And I figured out that I can, wear my tight jeans and do these high kicks like over my head. And there's my weird, stupid talent that I wish I'd never seen.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So what was your favorite experience playing live?
I mean, the whole thing is nice because, leading up to a show, especially when you're as lucky as I am and you're in a band that you actually like, and all the guys in it are really great. There's that whole like couple of hours of just silliness that's in the van where you're all just delirious of like traveling for so long. You just did an overnight drive and you're just like, get me out of here. But you're also in this weird, just funny state. Everyone's just kind of like nothing matters. You can say whatever you want. Yeah. So that's really nice. I do miss that kind of camaraderie a little bit. But other than that, it really is just finally stepping out on stage after sound check and after that kind of period that I like to call the Great Wait, which is just after sound check is done. And you have like, especially if it's a late show, you have like 4 or 5 hours after that where you're just sitting there, or you're just, you're trying to like go and find some good food or like find something fun to do, but like it never pans out the way you want it to, and you really just end up sitting there. waiting to go on stage, and that moment when you finally get to walk out on stage and everyone's just ready to receive some music and have a good time. I do miss that a lot.
What's been your favorite stage?
I don't know if well,
You've had a lot of good ones.
yeah, no, I know one. So I was very lucky to play for, or not play for, but to open up for Willie Nelson last year. It was 3 shows. It's just me on acoustic guitar opening up the shows, and they were out west, like in Reno and where else were we? I think California. But the last show that I played with him, they invited me up on stage to sing with him at the end, and it was just like that. I mean, it's a moment I'll never forget.
I bet.
Of singing "Will the Circle Be Unbroken" with Willie Nelson, and I'm like, where am I?
Yeah.
So that, I would say Rohnert Park, California. That's
Okay.
where it was. So I'll say that one. But there's been many, many great stages. I've been super lucky to play all over the country, and lots of really awesome stages out there for sure.
So, if you could be a bird,
Man.
what bird would you be and why?
Ooh, man. Oh, this would change all the time. Because I'm still even just learning all the birds. But one of my favorite birds, and it is a very simple bird that a lot of people see. But one of my favorite birds is the Carolina chickadee. And it's just this tiny, tiny little
Oh, so
bird
it's
with a
cute.
little black cap. Yeah, they're adorable. But I would love to be one of those. There's so many. Oh my gosh, yeah. I have a thing for red-bellied woodpeckers too.
Okay.
I'd love to be one of those.
I love
I'm
this
trying to
question.
think. I think on the T-shirt, I think Haley drew me as a rooster, I think, on the T-shirt, and I actually was like, oh, okay, I
That's
could be
cool.
a rooster. Yeah, so I think rooster would be good, because usually my hair, when I don't have headphones on, my hair is kind of more up.
Yeah, you have like a cool little hairstyle in that. in
Yeah,
that
so like
picture.
I think I could go with rooster.
Okay. So, if you could say a few words to yourself in 2010, what would they be?
Oh man, just relax. Yeah, really just relax. And this is something I'm still working on. I'm a pretty serious person, especially when it comes to when it comes to my music, when it comes to the world, when it comes to my relationships. I can be too serious, and especially in 2010, that means, so I would have been walking on stage and just panicking, and I've learned since then that really, people aren't expecting you to go on stage and be perfect, and I don't think they want that either. So I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm just trying to just kind of go with the flow a little more, and just relax and have fun, and remind myself that I play music to have fun.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, especially when you do what you love, which is great. But when you do what you love, you're kind of doing it all the time, and it becomes so much more like work.
Yeah.
Than it does play, and it really is play, and I'm like the luckiest person in the world to get to do this as for my living. So, I just have to remind myself of that sometimes.
So, for the last question, what's the next big goal that you're trying to accomplish, Noah?
Man, the next big goal for me is really just to get this new music out there in full, and just kind of keep doing what I'm doing, and figuring out how to get my original music out there in a way that's meaningful to people, and in a way that people will connect with. I got one more for you guys, and this is a song that I wrote in quarantine. I wrote this a few months ago when I really needed to write something kind of happy and uplifting, and that's not usually my forte. I do a lot of sad songs, but this is a song that was written to remind myself of all the good things that I have going on, and remind myself of all the lovely people in my life that make my life what it is, and hopefully this will help you guys kind of get through this weird, tough time we're all going through. But anyway, this is my last song for you. It's called Ain't a Bad Thing.
Well, lockdown's got me thinking about the things that I can't change. Like my parents growing old when the clouds decide to rain. How springtime's never long enough, summer just won't leave. But I refuse to see just the bad things. 'Cause I can't change the way she looks at me, no matter what I do. She keeps me from the loony bin and keeps me walking true. My lover, she believes in me. She can make this songbird sing. And that ain't a bad thing. And I can't change the way my brother thinks. Lord knows that I've tried. But it ain't often that we disagree. We're on each other's side. God knows you'd have to go through him to ever mess with me. And that ain't a bad thing. 'Cause these days won't last. They'll soon be in our past. A piece of time we'd rather leave behind. I got friends all around me, just a couple miles. And I'd slingshot to the moon and back just to see them smile. And I know they'll keep me honest, sure as hell is hot. Help me remember, oh, remember what I've got. And one of them's got a kid now, healthy baby boy. And out of all this chaos came a mother's pride and joy. One day she'll tell him about it, what he was born into. How his mother made it through. 'Cause these days won't last. They're buried in our past. A piece of time we've all left behind. And my voice so loud it could wake the dead, and that's what I intend to do. Until everybody's got someone to dance along with you. So the next time that you feel like you'll never see the spring, you will remember all of these good things.
Wow. Well, thank you for that awesome performance. Noah, your voice gives me goosebumps right out of the gate. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
So, anything else you'd like to share? Any websites? Anything the fans can look forward to?
Yeah. You guys can, again, you can find all my music on Spotify. If you just search Noah Guthrie, you'll find music, you'll find original music, you'll find covers, all that stuff. But I do have a single that's all out right now. I've got another one called High Enough coming out soon. And you can actually just, if you want to keep up with me, you can follow me on Instagram at onlyoneNoah and Twitter and Facebook and all those fun things. And then also noahguthrie.com if you want to stay up to date with eventual tour dates at some point. That's where you'll find those.
Well, thank you so much, Noah. We had a blast with you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So once again, I'm Jamie Hernandez, and this is the Ins and Outs with Mackie, a show about awesome gear and awesome people. We'll be bringing you musicians, engineers, podcasters, streamers, and sometimes the occasional Mackoid. If you're new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform to get all the latest Mackie updates as soon as they are out. Until next time, Mackoids.